Here is the formula for z-score. That was very impressive. Z-score equals data, whatever the value is, minus mean over standard deviation. The books have a certain formula, so let's actually call it X is a data item. Okay? Remember from our calculators, X bar, what that stands for?
Mean.
The mean. It's the mean actually of our sample.
X minus X bar over SX.
Right, of the standard deviation. We can say SX, the standard deviation of our data. So let's go ahead and do what our friend in the front here said is going to be.
Then I did it in the wrong order. I was dividing first.
You divided first.
Yes.
Fair enough. So what is the data item that we're talking about now? What score are we referring to?
1805.
1805. So we're saying 1805 is how far from what value?
The mean.
1500
Oh.
divided by standard deviation is what in this case?
300.
300, and we get a z-score of what?
1.016.
1.02, let's say.
And that's it.
And that's it. That's it. So now we'll be able to calculate the z-score of any data item. What is the data that we're referring to in this case?
The SAT.
The SAT score itself. Very good. The SAT score itself. So now we can throw out random SAT scores and get any z-score.
Let's do it.
Go, give us one, please. You want to see the chart? There you go. Give us one.
2230.
2230.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. 2230. It looks like you have. Just be yourself. 22.
Just do it.
30.
Nike.
Remind me, SAT scores do work in these tens, right? They
Yeah.
work in tens, so that's cool. It's realistic. So 2230, let's go ahead and calculate that. All right. So now we have 2230 minus what?
1500.
Over what?
300.
And we get what?
2.4.
2.4 what?
3.
2.43. Save. 2.43. And as statistics students, don't disturb. If you look at a z-score of 1 and a z-score of 2, what does that tell you about the data? The higher the z-score is,
So less,
The higher it is,
the higher
the
your grade is.
farther away it is from the mean.
the farther away it is from the mean, the higher your grade is.
And the more
in this
unusual
case.
it becomes.
The more unusual it becomes, very good. How about something very negative? Is that also unusual?
Yes.
Yes, further away from the mean. And that's why this normal curve represents the population so well. If we agree that the majority of the population is somewhere around average, then you have less and less people that do very well, and also less and less people that do very poorly. Same goes with many different things, heights, weights, incomes, things like that. Okay.
All the time.
So now, there is a formula for z-score. You can calculate it. So as promised, though, we're going to introduce you to programming how to get the z-score given any data item. Now, this is very exciting because you can use this on your calculators for the tests and stuff like that, so you don't have to remember formulas or anything. As long as we plug it into the program correctly, you can use it for the rest of the year, all right? Maybe when you take it in college. So let's go ahead and open our calculator, and we're gonna hit program. So from within our program, we're going to create a new program. Scroll to the right, hit new, so yes, create new. We can call it what? What do you want this program to be called?
Z-score.
Z-score, yeah. So where's my Z? Where's my Z?
It's up. Oh, just kidding.
Bottom middle, yeah.
Score. Where's the program button? Oh. Go to program and go to new. R.
Okay. So, before we begin, we need to ask ourselves a couple questions. The questions are, what does this program need from us in order to calculate what the z-score is? So think about that. That's good. I'm glad you're helping each other figure it out. That's good. We're going to get you. What does this program need from us to calculate what the z-score is? Yes?
The SAT score?
Yes, so we need score. So I'm going to put that down here. We need the score. What else do we need?
The standard deviation?
Standard deviation. And
The Z score. Wait.
It's calculating z-score.
The mean.
The mean. Weren't those the three things in the formula? Okay. So mean. Okay, so we need these three data items. Okay? Great. These are called what in computer coding land?
Variables.
They are called variables, sure, but in terms of, they are because they change depending on whatever. But what are they called in terms of coding? Sir, I know you have with computer programming experience. What are these called in computer coding land?
For
Data.
It is data. Starts with an I.
variables.
Starts with an
Right,
I.
now I inputs.
Inputs, right. It asks us,
Gotcha.
give us the data so that we can give you z-score. Is anyone not following? I can stop and explain. Okay, so let's do it. It's very exciting. We need three inputs to this. So the way to input data.
Variable, and then you do the store, and then you ask for the input.
I got you.
Right?
I got you. So let's go ahead and hit program again, and you'll see input output right here. If you scroll to the right, you see input. Okay. So we'll go ahead and say 1. Okay, we need to ask the user, what are you entering? You agree we want to do the data item first. So let's go ahead and say, there's a quote key. The quote is alpha plus. Go ahead and try that, alpha plus. Here we go. So let's call it data. So do alpha and write the key data.
A second alpha will lock it for you.
Sure.
You have to type that in.
Yeah, type in the word data.
How do you do the quote?
The quote
is
alpha plus.
alpha plus, yeah.
Alpha plus, very good. And then we could do like a colon, make it look nice. Where's my colon? Alpha decimal. Okay? And then, and quote is alpha plus. Pause here for a minute while people do it.
So you just write the word.
Yeah, this is what the user will see. Question?
I was asking if the quotes matter.
Yes, the reason the quotes matter is that
It's printing a string.
this is what will be appearing to the user, in other words, you. When you run the program, you'll run the program, it'll say, what is the data item? So you have to know what you're entering. This quote is like, write this to the person running the program.
And you push.
Have you ever bought something on Amazon? So after you click it, it'll say, congratulations, you purchased, thank you for your order. That's a text that's displayed to you after the process. So we're displaying text to the user so that they can know what we're asking for. Okay? You'll see it in action. Question?
Do we push enter it?
Not yet. Not yet. So here we're going to hit comma. Now, what do you want to call this? What do you want to call this variable? Any letter. What's an intuitive letter to call this variable that we're entering?
X.
We could call it X, but isn't the other one X bar?
Yeah, so it shouldn't be X.
Y, Z.
I'm feeling D.
D O.
I'm feeling D.
Oh yeah.
You know?
I'm
Where's
feeling
the
alpha
comma?
for alpha.
Comma
I,
is next to
I-
parentheses. And then we go alpha D.
Right there.
Oh.
Good job. Thanks for helping each other. So now we're entering in our data D. Okay? You hit enter. Let's go ahead and enter our mean, maybe. Let's go ahead and enter our mean. So hit program again. Input, output.
Wait, what did you just do?
Oh, sorry, I'll go back. So from within the program, so let's say starting from scratch, you hit program, and you'll notice our z-score is there. So do we want to execute the program? Do we want to edit the program? Or do we want to create a new one? We want to edit, so moving over. And so here we are. So we go down to the next line. Our first line is done. We will successfully have inputted our data item. You know, in fact, let's test this. It's good practice to test as you go. Let's run our program and see if we can input D, okay? I'll show you what it means. Hit program, and now we're gonna execute. Our program only asks for what, not unless I execute you first.
When I said that it would kill you last, I lied.
Goodbye.
There can only be one.
No work. We're gonna execute the program. Hit enter. So it says, do you want to run program z-score? Hit enter. And indeed, it says, what is the data item?
I meant like the edit because I,
Oh, you did edit, so second quit again,
okay.
and then hit program, and then execute, and then enter again. So let's, what do you want our data item to be? Maybe we could do the 2230 that you did. It's cool. So 22, 3, 3, oh.
Your hand was in the way. You're shadowing me.
Oh, okay. So it says done, meaning D is now saved as 2230. Let's prove it. Alpha D. This value should be saved as 2230 within our program. Hit enter, and it is. Now let's go ahead and get the other data. Yeah, it is cool. It is cool. I like it too. Because you put in the work now, and then you have z-score formula for the rest of your year. You know. So let's go ahead and edit z-score formula again. Scroll to the bottom. And what is our next input? Would you like it to be? Let's say?
Mean.
Sure. Mean. What were the 3 inputs total?
Standard
Remind us.
deviation.
Data,
Standard deviation.
standard deviation, and mean. Right. So let's go ahead and do mean. So the way to get input again is hit the program key. And you'll see input output right here on the right. Scrolling. Input enter. So we have to tell the user, whoever's using the program, what are we asking for now? So now we're asking for the mean. So let's go ahead and ask for it within quotes. All right. So,
Lock it. Second spot. If you do second alpha, it'll lock the editor for you. E, A, and yeah, it's helpful, especially for longer words, and then colon, quotes.
okay, and then get off it. Get off, okay. Comma. What would you like to call mean?
N.
Let's call it M. Alpha M. And while we're in here, and we know our input works, let's go ahead and get our standard deviation. So standard deviation program. So just go ahead and go at your own pace, and we'll meet up after this line.
Those are my initials. Oh,
Nice.
that's supposed to go.
It's okay. There's plenty of ways to do that. Don't worry, Don Morgan. Oh, sorry. Where's my S?
Yeah, I thought about it. You could just hesitate before saying all of our names, and so it seems like you thought you like made
Yeah.
up.
Oh yeah.
Well, now you
Standard.
can't.
Yeah, Dawn.
Come on, Don. You would make a good Don, though. It says synonymous with your personality.
Is that a boy?
No? No, D-A-W-N.
Type it in.
Oh, yeah, I was.
Wow, yeah.
Come on. All right, quote. All right. More line. So it's standard deviation, so we know what we're asking. If in case you want to know, the space key is alpha 0. If you're looking for it, alpha 0 is the space key. And we'll just call this S. And there we go. Okay. Pause for a minute. Check in. Questions. 3 inputs have been made. D, M, and S. Okay, I see a lot of you typing. That's great. That's great. Okay. Now what do we want to do with this data?
Do the equation.
We want to do the equation.
So we have to type that in.
So we have to have an algebraic equation. Okay? So let's go ahead and do display. So hit program again, and you'll see which one has display. No, not on this one. Let's go input output. Indeed, of course it's output, right? We're in our inputs, those 3 things, and now our output we're going to call display. So you can scroll down to 3 or hit the 3 button. Display. Okay. We could just do the calculation and output that, but a really elegant way to do it is to say what we're calculating. So before we do the calculation, let's say what it is that we're showing the user. So what should we say in quotes before we do the calculation?
Data minus me.
We don't even, that's a good guess.
Formula, maybe?
We don't even need to give them the formula. When you calculate your something online, like how much something costs or your birth date or something like that, the pen is mightier than the sword. It almost murdered me. really need the formula. Isn't it really more important just to show here's your birthday or here's your...
So z-score?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
want us to just say z-score?
Z-score. Z-score.
You
Being like,
could also do clear home so that it only displays that.
sure, we can do that after, but just keeping it
It's just
simple.
that I'm already finished doing this.
Keeping it simple. So let's go ahead and do this in quotes. We're going to tell the user, this is your z-score. So I'm going to put it down. Z.
S. C. O. Trouble finding them. Do you have trouble finding the... Yeah, because it's not the correct... Yeah. Trouble finding them. Okay. I'm going to take it off. Comma again.
Okay. So now we're going to say display the z-score, then we'll give them the actual z-score. When I say them, I mean the user of the program. Who is going to be the user of your program,
Me.
though? You. Yeah. So you're doing this for you. Okay. Formula for z-score. Z. Right? We couldn't put just z here. That would
we
be funny,
just do
though.
like d minus m
All over.
all over s.
Yes. So do we need parentheses?
Yes.
Yes, we do. So D. Be real careful with it. D minus the big moment's approaching, class. Minus S.
No, it's o minus m.
Oh, minus M. Excuse me. Minus M. Good looking out. Close. Divided by alpha S.
You just push the minus button. So. I mean, girl.
Enzyme.
Shoot.
Come on. There you go. Enter. There you go. It's like tap dancing. Okay, I'll stand out of the way here. Z-score is whatever this turns out to be. These three inputs or variables have been acquired by the user up here. And now you have a way to calculate z-score without doing it by hand. Let's see if it works. Any questions, or shall I pause while people figure?
Yeah, can you pause for a second?
Of course, yeah, I want to do it together. Cool. Have you run it yet?
No.
Good job. Wait. It'll be fun. Okay, and it'll give us any z-score. Okay, we have to actually move forward, all right? We're running short on time. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of this just to show you how it's done. Second quit. We'll clear this screen. Here we go. Program. Execute. Enter. What is the data item? Shall we do the 2230 we did before? Let's do it. So verify your answer. 2230. Enter. What is the mean?
15.
15. 1, 2. Enter. Standard deviation in this case?
300.
300 in this case. This will work for any problem. 300. Enter.
2 point. So
Very cool. Yeah, look at that. So we can get it for any data item we want. You don't have to memorize the formula because now the formula is now entered by you. Great. And now we can use this for other programs. It'll be really fun. Be really fun. How did that intro to programming go for you?
Quite intriguing.
Yeah, it was nice, huh? Here. Okay, any questions? You'll get the hang of it. You'll get the hang of it. Okay, seriously, give yourselves a hand. That was really good. Good job. All right, say bye, everyone. Bye.